Hello, everybody. This is Caitlin, and you are watching Zombie Eats Books. Yes, this is a book haul. Yes, that means I cheated on my 2016 book buying rules. But it is halfway through the year, which means that I made it halfway through the year before I had this little relapse of a book haul, which is fantastic. And I am going to continue after this book haul with my book buying rules because I think that they have really helped me restrain myself, even if not completely. There are probably a couple of sales coming up that I might indulge in. Anyway, on to the books. This first book is The Heir Affair by Jasper Fforde. This is a book I've had my eye on for quite a while. I love Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, one of my favorite novels, and this incorporates that book because it's about a time traveler. It's a literary detective, I think, which is awesome, and I think her name is Thursday Next, and she's a woman, so these are all fantastic things, and she is going to plunge into the fictional world of Jane Eyre, which, yeah, what's not to like about the plot of this book? So I picked it up. I also have here We the Drowned by Karsten Jensen. This is a book that I've already started and I'm already enjoying it. It is about a community in a small port town in Denmark. It primarily revolves around the sailors there and their families, their adventures, deaths, wars. I think it's going to span about 100 years, and I have a really awesome feeling about the rest of this book. I also picked up a couple of books by Jo Walton, the first of which is Among Others. This is a coming-of-age story, I believe, and it involves magic and moving to new places where there is no magic. And everyone that I have heard talk about this book has just raved about it. They love it. They say it's a beautiful book. So considering that it's by Jo Walton, an author that I have discovered that I love, I thought that I would pick it up. I also picked up Farthing by Jo Walton. This is one of 3 books that take place in an alternate England post-World War I, I think. And this particular book in the series, although I don't think you have to read it in any order, is about a couple. The husband is Jewish and he's about to be framed for murder, and the wife has to find a way out of it. So it sounded really interesting, and I haven't really read a lot of alternate history books, so looking forward to this one. I picked up the second book in the Southern Reach trilogy, which is Authority by Jeff Vandermeer. The first book is called Annihilation. This is a sci-fi horror series, and it's really great. I will link my review of Annihilation down below if you'd like to check it out. So I picked up this next book for $1, which makes me love it extra. This is Daughter of Fortune by Isabel Allende. This is about a young woman in the 19th century living in Chile, and she follows her lover to California for the gold rush, and adventure ensues. I've read The House of the Spirits by this author and really enjoyed it, so hopefully I will also really like this story, especially since it was $1. Okay, so last year I read The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and I loved it, and I decided that I would pick up The Goldfinch. I also have The Little Friend, but I think I'm going to skip that because everybody says it's shitty, so yeah, I'm going to try The Goldfinch instead. The Goldfinch is about a young boy who's in an accident. He survives the accident, his mother doesn't, his father abandons him, and he has to live with the new family and adjust to life in these new circumstances, and he is fixated on a painting that reminds him of his mother, and I'm guessing that that painting has a goldfinch on it. Anyway, I've heard great things about it, looking forward to reading it. I also picked up a book that people were raving about a really long time ago on BookTube, and that is The Crimson Petal and the White by Michelle Faber. Ugh, I hate that it's shiny. And again, with these little things that are not stickers. Now an acclaimed miniseries. I really don't need that on my book. Yeah, so I think this is about a prostitute who lives in Victorian England, and I don't really know much about it other than people say it's really great. I also picked up Alex by Pierre Lemaitre. This is a French crime novel series, which explains why I cannot pronounce the name correctly. I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it correctly. Anyway, this is about a detective who solves crimes, and the first book was fantastic. It was called Irene. If you want to check out my review for that, I will link it down below. So for the first time in a really long time, I picked up some children's fiction, and that is The 13 and a Half Lives of Captain Blue Bear by Walter Moores. I don't think I've read children's fiction since Harry Potter, and that was years and years and years ago. But I heard about this on a couple of channels, and it just sounded really fun and quirky, and I think that after I read it, my daughter would also like to read it if she follows my advice and actually reads a book that I recommend to her, which won't happen until 1 or 2 years later when somebody else recommends it to her. But that's okay, because as long as she's reading books, then I'm happy with it. Anyway, so this, I don't really know what it's about, except maybe Captain Blue Bear. It's about Captain Blue Bear, and there are pictures in here. Let me show you one. So the drawings look really cute. Here's another one. And last but not least, I also picked up some nonfiction, which is pretty rare for me. This is 1066, The Year of the Conquest by David Holworth. Yeah. And this is about the year that William the Conqueror defeated the English at the Battle of Hastings. And I have been wanting to read about the kings and the queens that come after that, so I thought that I would start with this since I'm not very familiar with it, and go from there. Hopefully I like it. It is a small book, which is good for me because I don't read a lot of nonfiction, and when I do read nonfiction, I tend to read biographies much better because they evoke emotion, I think, and I sort of need that connection to be able to get through books. And if you have any recommendations for very readable biographies that I could tackle after this, please do let me know. I would love that. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.